to my kitchen. I'm Dee, and today we're doing a little experiment in the kitchen. I'm making caramel cookies. Now, I usually make these with chocolate chips, but today I am going to experiment and try and put a little piece of the Caramilk chocolate bar in the center. What could be better? Caramel cookies with chocolate and caramel in the center. Let's give it a try and see if it works out. Now these are the ingredients you need. A cup of butter at room temperature or 2 sticks, a cup of white sugar, 1.5 cups of brown sugar, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, half a cup of thick caramel sauce, not the runny stuff you squeeze over ice cream, not that. It's really thick. I have a recipe for the caramel sauce. I'll put it right up above here that you can go check out. It makes quite a bit, but the great thing about it is you can use the leftovers, put them in cute little mason jars, put a nice fancy top on it, and give them as gifts. People can pour it in their coffee, in their hot chocolate. They can dip things in it. Everybody loves it. So let's get back to the ingredients. 4 cups all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of chocolate chips or the caramel. We'll give these a try first. So let's get going. First thing I'm going to do is just put the baking powder, baking soda, and salt in with the flour. Give it a quick whisk and set that aside. We have our butter in our mixing bowl, and we're going to put our sugars in, and we're just going to mix this and cream it until it's light and fluffy. It takes a few minutes, maybe 2 to 4 minutes. Next up, we're going to add the eggs and the vanilla and beat that in until it's well combined. I'm now going to put the caramel in. This caramel, this homemade caramel, is so thick and rich and buttery. It's unbelievable. Let's get that mixed in. Now we're just going to incorporate our flour mixture a little bit at a time and just beat a little bit between each addition. The dough is done. It's at this point you would put in the chocolate chips if you want to. I'm going to try the other way first. So this is going to go in the fridge as is. You can always add the chocolate chips in later. You can try them both ways or make some of each. So let's get this in the fridge for about an hour. I really want to firm this up a bit. So I cheated and baked 1 cookie and it turned out great. So we're going to continue on with how I wanted to do them. So the first thing I'm doing is taking some cookie dough. My scoop is broken, so I've got to spoon it out. I just flatten it a bit. I put in Caramilk, fold it in so it's kind of covered, and then just roll it in my hands and put it on the cookie sheet. It should fit about 12 to a sheet. So I ended up baking these for 9 minutes in a preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven. They've just come out. I'm going to let them cool a bit, and then we'll show you what they look like inside. Our cookies are done, and they turned out perfectly just as I had hoped. You can see right there in the middle, and these are when they're perfectly room temperature, but when they're slightly warm, all the caramel is really gooey. If you want that taste sensation back, I like them like this, but if you want them warmer, you just pop them in the microwave for a few seconds, and they get all warm and gooey again. I also made some with chocolate chips rather than the Caramilk in the middle. I made so you can see what they look like. Oh, and I also made caramel corn in my kitchen today. And if you're interested in that recipe, trust me, this stuff is crispy. It's super full of caramel. Better than anything you've ever had in a bag. And I'll post that link to that recipe right above here. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out our recipes playlist for all of our recipes.